Well, good morning everybody. I think today we're gonna have some fun. I'm on my holidays for a week because my wife needs some cheap labor to help build this new garden we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna blend this entire area. Got a couple of dump trucks of good potting or topsoil garden mix. And we're just gonna sweat and break our backs and try to make this thing happen. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna make some charcoal, which my wife is gonna transform into biochar, and I'm gonna show you the easiest way that I like to make it. So I'm gonna do a little bit of setup and try to walk you through the steps and what I think is the easiest way to build a charcoal system where you can efficiently make it over and over very cheaply using pieces of hardwood, stuff that you can get around, and let's get through this. Anybody can make charcoal. I'm going to show you how I make it, which I think is the easiest. I get a lot of free wood, which really helps in the bringing the cost down to making it. If you have access to like junk wood and all that, you can use that for your fuel to make your actual charcoal. So let's walk through the steps and see if I can put together a decent video that everybody can benefit from in making their own charcoal. Alright everybody, here we go. Now, the main parts that you need for making charcoal is you need a main burn barrel, which has vents at the bottom. Oh, look, some nice spiders living in there. I guess they're going to be moving quickly. And you must, well, at least I find you got to have a locking lid so that you can smother it after the burning process is done. Your inner barrel is a 20 gallon I use. And what I do is I put vent holes on the bottom so that the combustibles can come out the bottom and contribute to the heating of the charcoal. I use a nice heavy lid that fits on the top to sort of keep the everything contained, because you do not want the fire or the inner barrel to get oxygen to any large extent. You want to sort of smolder out, send all the combustibles out the bottom, and not, otherwise you're just going to have a big barrel of ash. So I use this little grid on the bottom to give an airspace. It's just a 1/2 inch plate. I welded on some flat bars just to allow the gases to escape from the inner barrel. That's pretty much it for all the parts that you need. I got to see if I can get these bags out of here without breaking them open. Otherwise they're going to get shoveled in here. So I'm just making a little patch here, just so I can level that barrel, because the ground here has a little bit of a slope on it. But you know what? I think I'm gonna need another bag of sand, so I'll be right back. Tip it to the side, you don't get a really good burn. So I highly recommend sand when you're leveling off your main burn barrel. You got to remember to use something pretty beefy for the bottom. I lifted up off the bottom by about 2 inches and allows for gases to escape from your inner barrel. Just place that in on the bottom. Sorry spiders. Alright, now the fun part. Now we go get the wood. You know one thing I realized? This is an awesome day to make charcoal. It's a Monday morning. I'm on holidays. Everybody's at work. It's nice and quiet here. This is great. So you gotta remember, making charcoal is also fun. So what I got here? The trick. And one of the keys about your inner barrel is to tightly pack all your wood. I know some people like to do big chunks, but I use pieces of red and white oak, all hardwood of course, nice and clean, not treated with chemicals or anything like that. Like, be sure of your wood that you're putting in there. And I find that when I do the smaller pieces, which are, chunks of oak like this, I find that your burn time is less. So it usually takes about 3 hours for the burn time. I've seen people that are doing it and it takes so long, but the whole process from start to finish is about a day, because most of the time is for cooling. So let's pack this barrel tight.
Trouble in my head, carried all the words you said, but yesterday is done.
So that little bit was obviously not a nut. So as you can see, the tighter you pack this, the better. I find with the smaller pieces, you can get all the crevices, because you do not want oxygen to be getting to any large extent during the burn process. So I'm gonna go and get another bag of wood. I'm using over the leftovers that I use for kindling for the wood stove. So there's a bunch of ash and maple, and what else is in there? A little bit of birch. So let's have a mixed charcoal base here. All right, back in a minute. All right, I got the last of my winter kindling. go. And what I'll do is I'll choice pick these pieces. So, yeah, as I said, birch, oak, I got some cherry in there. It's all hardwood. You know what I really love? I love cherry wood. It used to be really abundant around here because years ago, after housing and building everything around here, they got rid of all the cherry orchards, which used to be abundant here. But especially when it's fresh cut, still smell a little bit of that flavor. All right, sorry for that little deviation. So, not much left of that pile. So, I've packed it very tight, as tight as I can. You know, it's like an unmanageable puzzle. You just got to squeeze them in there and hope that it's pretty solid. Probably weighs about 50 to 60 pounds right now. That's going to really change after we burn this out. So, I use a heavy lid that I've made. So if you look here, see that taper? I was lucky to have this and it fit perfectly on the top of them 20-gallon drums. So let's go and get the inner barrel into the burn barrel. As you can see, I got my spacer grate on the bottom. And yeah, all right, let's do this. Okay, so now if you look, if I can get it in the camera here, you try to get it in the center. On the bottom we got our vent holes, but the most important thing about your inner barrel is you got to starve it from oxygen. There's going to be oxygen in there, but it's going to be so minimal that you allow this charcoal to be charcoal and not turn into ash. So all this space around here is for your consumable wood, which I'll use like scraps of hardwood. I'll probably use the rest of that to sort of get it going. And then once it gets to a certain temperature, this inner barrel will release its combustible gas through the bottom of the barrel and contribute to the burning process. And hopefully we'll get a fire tornado coming out of this thing soon. So anyways, it's been about, to the whole process now up to now, I don't know, I think it's been about maybe half an hour or about 45 minutes, let's just say. So let's get the lid on here and stoke this burn barrel with its fuel wood. All right, see you in a bit. I have some more, but I'm going to use like some softer stuff because I want to get this fire going fast. I'm not fooling around here. Let's just get her going, get her swirling, and then I'll start adding the hardwood. It's great working for a place where you get scraps of a beautiful untreated oak just like this. I have some more, so let's get this fire going. Let's get the barrel packed and get the fire going. This is all super dry poplar that I'm going to use to get this going. I wouldn't do this on the weekend because, I don't know, the neighbors are out. And, you know, you got to be respectful of your neighbors. I'm sort of in the city, but not. It's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of a nice spot. It's got a nice zone. So I'm going to get this going really fast. As you can see, I've built it up just below the inner barrel. I'm gonna go and get some fuel to get this going fast, aka barbecue fluid, and then yeah, let's just go. Alright, so it's about 8 o'clock, so we'll try to keep track of this whole process. So it was about maybe 45, I already had my wood cut, so it took about 45 minutes to get it all together. And this will be from the start of the fire until the starving of the fire. We'll keep track of the time, okay? I know there's different times out there, but this is how long this takes, and I'll show you the finished product, how nice it is. For the sake of it, don't use gasoline on something like this. I just use petroleum distillates. It's a nice, easy burn. Here comes the danger dog. That should catch pretty good. Get a nice flame going all the way around it. And this thing gets hot, I'm telling you. It'll start scorching the grass even by the time that fire-nado gets going. Okay, so now it's started. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Let's see how long this takes. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's that blackish smoke, so the inner barrel is getting hot enough where it's starting to produce its combustible fuel. So this fire is really going to change in how it looks. We're about maybe half an hour into this. I'm seeing the coals down at the bottom, so the heat's all the way down into the barrel, still more at the top obviously. So eventually that white smoke from the wood's going to get out and really contribute to this fire, and it's just going to get pretty hot. Now if you see some flames coming out of the really small cracks that you have on the top of your inner barrel, don't worry about it, it's normal. That happens all the time. Some people use a locking lid, but I find they disintegrate after a couple uses. This 1/2 inch thick, really heavy beveled edge lid just makes a nice tight fit. And there's a little bit of leakage, but that's normal. At the end you'll get some really good product out of this. We're about 45 minutes in. Well, things are getting pretty hot here. I still try to straighten the inner barrel in. You don't want the inner barrel to tip on its side or anything. Things get hot, things get soft. So when I find if I stick the stick in, the ashes or the coals will go underneath and then straighten it out. So try to keep the inner barrel in there. Try to keep it in there in the center as best as possible so you can have equal loading of your fuel wood. As you can see, things are really hot about halfway through. We're gonna give her probably 3 hours on this one. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm starting to see that really jetting like flame that's coming out from the bottom. That's the gases burning through the holes of the bottom of the inner barrel. That really gets the fire going, but I can't stand here, it's too hot. So we're getting close to 2 hours. I'm gonna start letting it burn down. By the flames and everything, when you get used to looking at how it's burning, you can tell what's going on the inner can. Well, that cardinal's loud, but he sure is nice. I think I'm gonna let the fire start settling and cap it off at about probably 2 to 2.5 hours. So it's a really quick burn today. And once I'll show you how I starve the flames. So now the things are burned right down. What I gotta do is I gotta starve this. I'm gonna leave the inner barrel. I just leave the lid on it. Don't touch it, don't disturb it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put a lock lid on the top of the barrel, and I'm gonna take the other bag of that sand I found in the back, and I'm gonna use it to smother the holes. Sand seems to work the best, it's easy. And we can always leave the sand, we can move it anywhere and do other stuff with it later. So anyways, I'm going to show you that quick process right now. Try to do this quick because it's going to get hot fast. I like the locking rings much better than the bolts. It's pretty hot here. You don't want to be burning your hands. Now I'm going to do the base. Wearing rubber boots. Make sure you don't touch the barrel with your boots. Kept the fire burning strong. I sent up all the signals, hoping you would see, hoping you would come back home to me. The sand's usually enough to stop the oxygen coming in because generally in the lid, obviously. Sorry, I can't help it. I'm filled with so much love to see you smiling in that chair. To know that for a while you're not going anywhere. Every night I asked for you to be kept safe in all you do. Toward my North Star, and now here you are, right here in my arms. And it's crazy how much a bag of sand costs when you go out and buy it. I mean, it's a lot of work to go down to the beach and that, but when you find a free few bags in the back that you never knew about, it's awesome. Make sure those holes are covered up. And I'm so glad you're home. It's been too long, I know you know. When I smell some rubber. Must have touched the holes in the boot. I sent up all the signals, hoping you would see, hoping you would come back home to me. All right. doer. So as you can see, we got the whole base packed in with sand. You don't have to like pack it hard or anything, just cover up the holes. That'll stop the oxygen. You know, I just pat it with my boots. Alright, so now the waiting game. Okay, it's been enough time. I thought I might have to wait till the next day, but I think that let's open this up and see how she looks. I think the barrel is just warm because of the sun. It's a lot warmer today. Okay, let's see what we got inside. Yeah, everything's warm enough. Would you look at that? Beautiful hardwood charcoal. We're going to make this into biochar. So as you can see, it goes down quite a bit. But if you want charcoal, this is what you do. Yep. I let my barrel go. One load too fast. One load too many. Yep. So that's what the bottom does. That's what I do. That's how my vent holes look. Still got some good charcoal. It all burned pretty well. So I'll put this in a bin and get it ready for making biochar. Anyways, I hope this video helped you out in deciding to make your own charcoal and seeing how easy it was. So I actually calculated the time. My burn time was just over 2 hours. So I know a lot of people take a lot of time. It seems like they're taking a long time to make the charcoal. But you go hot and you go fast and keep the fire stoked. Use a good barrel. Use a new barrel. Don't use one that's on its last leg. So anyways, making a biochar video will be another one. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy charcoal making.